From a former parliament member, Parliament Finance excludes sending budget tables within 2 months. That's its value. In other words, they are still hiding that value in the budget. This is similar to what we saw in Kuwait just before they ARVed. So I am hopeful this is not a delay and just them putting a smokescreen in front of our eyes. The first week, the beginning of a new quarter of April, cannot be wasted again. The inflation rate fell by 35.56%, from 4.50% to 2.90%, reflecting improved price stability. The exchange rate on the parallel market also declined by 1.32%, indicating relative stability in the value of the dinar against the dollar. You have to understand the Azraflak is a campaign that is going to come out for the next 2 months. Inside this campaign there's also a software, entitled, Spend It. This is a program that transfers money at an instant speed of time. It is done through a digital program that delivers instantly a receipt. Spend It is not at 1310 EMO. Spend It is an American term. It is not an Arabic term used in banks, it is also a financial literacy program. We hope the IQD can reach the amount of pennies for 1 IQD. While this is not promised or guaranteed, the IQD could soon increase above pennies to the dollar. Most dinarians hold at least 1 million Iraqi dinars banknotes. If the IQD were to increase to 10 cents per 1 Iraqi dinar, investors would make $100,000 in profits. They are pushing to launch the CBDC, central bank digital currency, for the Central Bank of Iraq very soon. That's when you're going to see the changes to the Iraqi dinar, not anytime sooner. Sami says after the calm is finished with the budget tables, then it will go to Parliament, but by then it's too late for payment to mess around with it. He says when the calm is finished, we could very well see Iraq give us the rate before it even goes to Parliament. Rumors floating around are that the RV is today and banks are exchanging. Mark Z. Yes, a lot of them are saying that. Others are saying lower denominations are out. My contacts on the streets in Iraq are saying they wish that was a fact, but they don't have any and they can't find any. Let's hope those folks are right about RV today. Iraq's dinar is not on credit cards going live in any country until they do what they are supposed to do. Article quote, "We're in the process of issuing which will facilitate financial operations inside and outside of Iraq." That is huge because once they're able to use these cards outside of Iraq, they should have an international acceptable exchange rate that's in compliance with the IMF's Article 8, Article 4 compliance issues. That's what we're waiting for. Iraq's foreign reserves rise to a record high. Quote, the Prime Minister's financial advisor, Mazhar Mohammad Saleh, confirmed on Wednesday that foreign reserves are at their highest historical levels, helping to achieve economic balance and stability for the country. He also indicated that reserves still cover more than 100% of the currency in circulation, and enjoy a high commercial efficiency of more than 15 months of imports, compared to the global standard of 3 months. The RV is complete. The lower denims are out in Iraq. The banks have the rates, we're waiting for our start time. Iran plans to attack U.S. military bases in Iraq and Syria. Iran has decided to give President Trump the middle finger instead of accepting the helping hand from Donald Trump. Article, we may bomb Iran. Quote, Donald Trump threatened Iran with unprecedented strikes if an agreement is not reached. President Trump is looking for the security and stability because President Trump wants the new exchange rate to EMO. There's only one way to get it behave. Iran. Al-Sudani and Alawi discuss government efforts to achieve economic reform. You remember former Prime Minister Iyad Alawi. He was the very first Prime Minister for the new democratic Iraq. His second term was stolen by corrupt politicians and Nouri al-Maliki took over for the next 8 years and did not advance Iraq. In fact, he is the one that corrupted the currency auctions and fed Iran billions of US dollars, not to mention ignoring most of the new constitution. It is so good to see Alawi supporting al-Sudani's reforms and efforts to bring back the dinar to its glory days. People around the world should understand Iraq is showing their true colors. They are going international. They're going to a digital environment and they're doing it right before our eyes. U.S. to open largest consulate in Erbil, strengthening diplomatic ties. Quote, in a significant development, Tammy Bruce, the spokesperson for the United States Department of State, announced on Monday that the U.S. will soon open its largest consulate in the Kurdistan region. Set to open next month in Erbil, This new consulate underscores America's unwavering commitment to its partnership with the Kurdistan Regional Government, KRG. The British website Oil Price, which specializes in energy affairs, reported on Wednesday that Iraq is witnessing a conflict between the West on the one hand and China and Russia on the other over its oil and gas resources, placing Baghdad at a critical point between the two parties. The website believes that Iraq could be positioned as a strategic stronghold in the Middle East. The report, translated by Shafaq News Agency, stated that, after a series of internal meetings within the Iraqi Ministry of Oil over the past 2 weeks, Iraq has begun talks with several international energy companies to develop gas fields. The report quoted a high-level source working with the Iraqi Ministry of Oil as saying, "It has finally become clear that the game is over with the United States and Iran," noting that the exemptions Washington had granted Iraq to proceed with importing gas and electricity from Tehran have ended. He pointed out that everyone is now in a frantic race to try to find a way to increase gas production to levels that prevent continuous power outages throughout the year, adding that there are good options available to the ministry, but they all have significant political ramifications, so the decisions in the coming weeks will not be easy. The report noted that, unfortunately for the oil ministry, the reality began to emerge following the United States' decision on March 8 to halt all exemptions. That had allowed Iraq to continue importing energy from Iran, which in recent years had provided approximately 40% of its electricity needs. This was part of what the U.S. State Department described as ensuring that Iran is not granted any degree of economic or financial relief and implementing a maximum pressure campaign against Tehran. The report considered that there are several options available in the gas sector, including taking advantage of huge agreements with strong Western companies such as the British, BP, and the French, Total Energizer, as they have extensive experience in the gas sector, as is the case with the British, Shell, which recently announced its goal to become a global leader in the field of gas and liquefied natural gas, LNG, and has significant operations in Iraq, as it is currently working through its joint venture with the Basra Gas Company to collect and use flared gas from fields such as Rumaila, Zubair, and West Kurna, with the aim of helping Iraq achieve energy independence. He believed that European and American companies could help change the rules of the game if Iraq asked them to, noting that this country has proven natural gas reserves amounting to 3.5 trillion cubic meters, or about 1.5% of the world's total reserves, which makes it the 12th largest holder of global reserves, noting that estimates show that about 3/4 of Iraq's proven reserves consist of associated gas. According to the report, 2 of Iraq's major gas fields are Akash and Mansouriya, and the Ministry of Oil decided last week to accelerate their development. Akash contains approximately 5.6 trillion cubic feet of proven reserves and is expected to produce approximately 400 million standard cubic feet of gas per day, while Mansouriya contains approximately 4.5 trillion cubic feet of gas.